going to be like this, except for, you know, it's supposed to impress. The idea being that we're going to do this, we do a bunch of stuff on radio. Like we did 6 on radio last night.
Yeah.
We did 3 for television today.
Some of the box.
No,
Hey, quote. Well, it's still in the paper. You're on top.
it's oh yeah, it's the video. Is that tonight?
Yes.
Video tonight. We're doing this is late night. No,
Late show.
late show.
Right.
Really good. They just with
Is
no
it
talking.
great?
Just we did 3 songs. We did. It'll be on tonight 11.
I've got to set the video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did Half the World Away, Lose My Religion, and Belong.
Or
And then-
acoustic.
Yeah. You know, with accordions and acoustic basses. It sounds really good. It'll be kind of rough tonight because, you know, there's just so many things going on, but it'll be fun.
Roger McLean did it the other week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good
That's
start.
great.
Yeah. I haven't seen him with the band yet. I want to.
He played solo, just doing an electric solo.
Yeah, I've seen him do that before.
It's good.
See, we were talking maybe we can see about getting like a live track or something for like, you know, a bingo hand job edition, you know.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Because Peter's here, he wants to get the tape to review it because it'll be coming out here in a month.
Is that the record with Staley?
Yeah, it's really good
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it's really good. I think it's as good as ATV's record.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's good.
Have they been writing together or just like
Same as last
separate?
time, separate. I mean, I think. I'm pretty sure they don't work together.
Right.
Will he do any of them tonight, do you think?
He's going to get to play 2 or 3 songs, so we're going to do, like I said, White Train by the DBs, and then he'll probably do one from this or something.
We have a
Dark
special
Hole.
request, yeah, same as last time.
He might. You know, you never know. Last time we played, he was too shy to play that stuff. You want to play tonight? Yeah, sure. I think he's feeling good. We're all feeling pretty optimistic about this tour, so yeah, we'll arrange for y'all to take the train thing with us. I think Warner's is going to pay there and back, and it would be like,
Great.
you know, like it.
Why Dover?
Have you been to that?
No, see, we're going to France.
Ah.
And it's the only time we can squeeze it in. No, it's not like a magical mystery tour or anything. We're only going to take X on the train and go to Dover and hang out. You know, we're going to take the photograph to France, and the idea being that we'll go, well, it'd be fun to do some interviews on the train. Boy, that way you don't have to look at some dirty dressing room. You know.
Okay. We'll go for that.
You know, they're going to be here tonight. I'll make sure that they know all about it. Taken care of. So I'm Raoul, hand job. I mean, I don't know what our last names are. I just decided I was Raoul.
So, next door then. When do you think you will? So, do you think you ever will again?
Yeah, sure we will. We don't know when. Probably after the next record we will, and I think we'll do something like this.
And is the record really sort of you're aiming for the end of this year?
We're going to start recording in October.
You got all the songs, or you got some songs?
No, we got a bunch.
Have you spoken to Strang recently?
Yeah, he called me up like 2 days before I came over here. This is the 4th year in a row he's done it to me. He calls up like on a Sunday. He goes, "Hey Peter, I'm thinking about making a record tomorrow. If you come to and you go,
Sounds like Keith.
and I go, Keith, you know, my record is coming out in 2 weeks. Yeah, I am busy. I mean, I love Keith dearly, but he just doesn't, you know.
He's not practical.
The last 3 records they've done, he's called me up and asked if I wanted to produce it the day that he was like, you know, on leaving tomorrow.
Dinner right now.
Oh, right.
Tell him to come down here when he's done.
So where's the food?
It's downstairs
In the restaurant? Yeah. What kind of, is it Tex-Mex?
It's off the menu. Yeah, whatever you want.
It's pretty below average.
Anyway, it's pretty below average. You know, I had a finger sandwich at BBC this week.
Now, I spoke to Strang last week. He invited me to his wedding.
Oh, they're getting married. He didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I just skipped his mind, didn't I?
You'll be invited.
Yeah, when is that? Do you know?
Well, we haven't got a date. June sometime.
I'll be around.
In June sometime.
I'll be a rock and roll around.
Yeah.
Get in shape for like a month, just so I can.
Take a month to rest before.
Yeah, because I'll be throwing up for a week afterwards.
Yeah, right.
Poor Keith, he always does that to me. How does that survive?
Neither do I. He came over and stayed with me last year every night. It's like bottle of gin, bottle of what's that stuff he drinks? French brandy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Bottle of that, 6 cans of beer, 2 more bottles of wine, some vodka.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gets up.
And he gets up the next morning and he's like, "Where are we going today then?" And everyone else is, "Oh."
Yeah, not a good sign, but.
He's a sweet guy.
Oh, I love Keith, dude. That full-time in record's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
It needs to be on something like compiled somewhere.
Yeah. It's a bit lost really, isn't it? Sort of out of the...
Yeah, so much to get back in practice. It was really fun. As I remember, I liked it.
Well, he's got the rights to that stuff, you know.
I mean, put it this way, I never get paid for anything I do, so I have no idea. I mean, I never sign a contract.
You just do it.
Yeah, and it like keeps, oh yeah, let me explain to send you a check. And something, you know, I mean, Keith's living in an apartment or a hotel somewhere. So I can't really expect it to be flat paying me.
So have you got any time for anything else these days? I mean, is REM becoming... Do you still have time to do other projects?
Oh, yeah,
Will
yeah.
you have time to do other
Oh
projects?
yeah,
Or
I
is
do
it
lots
just...
of things. Jeanette and I are constantly bonded writing songs together. And
Yeah.
she wants me to tour as like acoustic rhythm mandolin, because Jim Mankey's like a great guitar player and guitar player, but someone to fill in a little bit of space, maybe, and that'll be a while. I'd love to do it though. We're gonna write some more songs together. Wrote a song with Steve Wynn, produced the next original Sins record.
Yeah.
It's a 2-record set. It turned out really good. It's real kind of like I broadens out their influences a lot. I'll play with Peter whenever he gets together. I'm producing a record by Dashboard Saviors in May. They're an Athens band. They're really good. Kind of like Neil Young and the Stones kind of grounded together. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, they're like all like day laborers. They do construction and stuff. So it's
Part
kind of,
band.
yeah. Now that they've gotten kind of sober, though, it's fun.
What about Robbie? I heard some tales he was doing something
Yeah, we
quite different to the...
Well, we did like 8 songs in my place last December, and I'm going to go out at the end of March and do like a week with him and Andy and Morris. I was playing rhythm guitar. So. I mean, I'm staying busy. I've got lots of things to do. I have no problem about that. I'll have like a week off in May, I think, and then back to work. I want to go to Mexico quite quickly. I love Mexico. So we just go there, don't shave. I'm here in a ponytail and sit on the beach all day.
A bit bummed for a week.
Yeah, it's like it's really nice. I like it. There's a place some people told me about that I think I want to visit. It's going to be really nice. So. Hey, Micro.
Hey, Pete. If and when you get around to it.
Set list, boy. I think I'm going to do a list of songs.
Yeah.
And then
It's gonna
and do like 4.
You know what Bill and Mike were saying upstairs? I'm having dinner with them. They were thinking maybe allow for Peter Holzapfel to do a couple songs.
Yes.
alone.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we'll do 5, then let Peter do a couple, and then we'll do White Train. Then maybe we'll do 3 or 4, and then get Billy.
Do you know Robin's here?
Yeah. Well, I heard. Yeah, I haven't seen him. Is he sound checking?
Yeah. Well, he's up on stage. Well, when are the pups getting here?
I don't know.
Aren't my puppies over?
Yeah, I don't know when they're coming.
That's weird.
Well, Jennifer's here. You should ask
Yeah.
her. She knows about it. I think maybe it was 6:30. So.
Okay.
So how's the food up there?
Don't know yet. I'm gonna try some fajitas. Sounds alright. We don't have Mexican down over here.
No.
Not
Be
even
okay.
plans.
Yeah, it'll be filler.
Well, there are some people speaking Spanish in the kitchen, so
Uh-huh.
I mean that's one good
Maybe
sign.
we'll be okay.
It'll be hot anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's lots of spice.
We'll see you in a while.
All right.
But you're going to be pretty busy with REM stuff this year.
Yeah.
We talk about doing a mini album or something.
Trog's EP.
Yeah.
You've said it now, you've got to do it. Everyone's saying, next REM, it's a Trog's EP. When's it out?
We've got one song in the can. I think we're going to try to do a few more. Maybe, and then we maybe do a live thing. I don't know. We're going to do a studio record in October. So we might have like 4 things out by the end of the year. You don't know.
Do you still plan to continue working with Scott Litt? Does that work out really good for you? You're really happy with it?
Yeah, I like it. I guess we will.
All the records sound different to me. Although it's
Yeah.
him, they all sound
Yeah.
like different producers. Whereas like the Mick Easter and Don Dixon stuff does sound like them producing.
Well, Scott's really good about figuring out what we want, trying to help us get it, so that if we say, well, we want to do tons of strings, it's not going to be a big drum album. It's going to be more like this. I think everyone's real happy with working with him, and I just assume we're going to do that with him. We haven't asked him, but I know he'd like to. I mean, we parted on great terms when I gave his manager, so.
It's a great record, by the way.
I'm really happy.
Again, I'm sick as telling you this.
Hey, listen,
They all are, they're all great.
I never mind hearing that. I think this is our best record. It's the one that we all kind of like the best. I'm really excited about it. And I think it's going to be a really cool record if it's a hit, just because it's just it's an odd record in an odd year. I mean, it's going to be all disco drums and all this shit, and then here's this thing, I think I'll be, even if it's not a hit, I don't care, but it looks like it's going to do really, a lot better than all the other ones.
I work on the bar of a mega school, Virgin
Right.
on the road.
Sure.
And it's been our biggest seller for months, apart from Queen. You're in good company.
Well, don't put it in the article here, we just got the midweek charts and it says it's number one.
Oh, it's number one for sure next week.
That's great. So we're all just kind of like, well, I believe it when I see it, but,
Oh, it is. Believe me, it will be. It's outselling everything 10 to 1.
that's right. So we've never had a real hit, so it'll be
No,
nice.
it's been a steady build.
Oh, yeah.
And like selling out Hammersmith last time, it was a
Yeah.
feverish kind of attitude.
Well, I'm not complaining. I don't, I take it where we can get it, and we sell a lot of records some places, so I don't really feel as if, like I have to always have a hit in every country. We've never had a hit record in Germany. I don't care. I'd like to. But then on the other hand, it's kind of nice to play in front of 800 people. So, we go.
What's it like in Southern Europe? Big there?
Yeah, Italy is kind of fanatic, but not like huge. Switzerland, I don't feel very well known. France, cult thing. Like we're kind of. It's weird in France. We're kind of like rock stars that don't sell records. It's like that, I guess. And everywhere else we're not rock stars and we sell lots of records. It's totally backwards in France. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of tired. We got that whole day thing. We were at BBC for like 4.5 hours. We did the tracks. The first time we played through, it was like perfect. Great, we just gotta get the cameras right. We had to play them each about 6 times. And it was just getting like, I've never played this song 6 times in a row, I don't think. We're just not that kind of band. But we were supported to get it right. It did look good. I could see the monitors. It looked great. BBC does know what they're doing. But it was kind of like, about the 5th run through, I was going, oh, this is it.
So we're playing acoustic on the live show.
Yeah. It's neat. I hope a lot of bootlegs come out of it. I hope a lot of bootlegs come out of this stuff. Because we're doing
Everything's bootleg lists.
we're doing tons of stuff all over Europe acoustic. So we've already done probably about 12 different ones. Holland, we did a TV of 7 or 8 songs. I think it was 8. Then we did 6 on TV last night. We did 3 today, and it's one of them we didn't do last night. So it'll be, 8 or 9 songs from each country. And then we're going to do one in Italy that'll be really different, because Peter's not going to be this, so Bill's going to have to play guitar, so it's going to make us change how we play. We're thinking about compiling it maybe near the end of the year and just having the live EP of acoustic things when there's no tour. The only time we have a live EP is no tour.
My wife heard last night, so I was at the she said there's a song called Don't Talk to Me About Being Alone.
Yeah, that's not on the record.
Is that the original?
Yeah.
Didn't make it onto the album.
Right, we gave it to Vin Vendors for his movie.
Oh, is that the thing?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen then? Or
He's
you
got
just
it.
giving it to him and it's up to him now?
Well, it's up to him, but he likes it, and we gave him a couple other things. I think he's gonna. One of them is just this weird organ kind of tremolo. It's a big church organ, and we went into a church and recorded. And then we put guitar, like tremolo guitar, and it's just kind of spooky. And so those things might be in the record. I think that they're going to be. And then there's one I'm just like you might use low.
So did you meet up with Ben?
No, but we're just meeting in Los Angeles in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
That's pretty cool. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah. American Friend is one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, what's that, Two for the Road, is that the way it was called? I like that. I like Wings of Desire. Not a lot of people thought it was really pretentious, but I love that movie.
But it's pretentious.
Yeah, I'm pretentious sometimes too. I like ridiculous stuff.
It's crazy.
I did that. Yeah, it's usually there's not a whole lot of us on it.
It looks good in the shop when it's racked up. It's just REM jumps out at everybody. Bright yellow.
We should make badges like that. So that's a good shape. It's like a policeman's badge.
That's too hot.
Oh wait, there it is, Bill. On Maxim. Oh, that's gonna be really fun to play with.
So how's your Ewan McCall collection going now?
I got a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I got this American compilation. It's pretty cool, but I had no idea he had put out so many records. I kind of thought that he's one of those guys like Don Gibson, or like that has 2 records out, or 3 maybe. And I didn't realize I had like 30. So all over London. Yeah, I've got people looking for me, so I give the record company, and
How did you come to him then? What interested you in Ian McCall?
He's a great songwriter. I just, I guess it was like anything else, one of those things to kind of explore, and I like folk music, so I kind of just little by little learn about it, and
Just got to him.
he's not the obvious one. I mean, I don't think anybody knows who he is in America at all. I mean, I don't know any Americans who have heard of him. Kristen's a lot more famous over there. Of course,
Yeah.
Kitty, that she was known on. She sings on one of his records, and it's Kitty McCall.
Oh, really?
But and I had no idea. I knew that he was like this huge influential figure over there. I didn't really realize that he'd done so much work. So now I'm just trying to catch up.
Do you like those sort of really bleak songs in general? Or,
Yeah, actually, it's a horrible thing. I don't
those murderous songs, the gallows pole thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, optimistic is kind of like I hardly ever listen to pop music that has kind of an up feel. For some reason, I'm always really attracted to really negative stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of my favorite records of all time is that song "Psycho."
The one that Elvis Costello
Yeah,
covered.
he covered.
Who
I
wrote
heard-
it?
Well, it was written by Leon Payne, the guy who wrote Endless Highway, or Lost Highway, and I got the original version, which is I'm a fan of her dying like 15 years ago, and it's like one of the most rare collectible country records ever. I mean, it goes for like $100. Jack Cattell, his version is amazing. It's just, I mean, every verse he kills somebody different, and then at the end he kills his mother. It's an unbelievable song. I mean, I play it all the time. It's the real thing.
So what mandolin players are you into?
I'm such a bad mandolin player that I don't even have any heroes.
You're good.
I'm
You've really
real-
improved, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah.
when you first started, you were... I'm trying to be polite.
No, it's
but you're really good now.
Well, when
You've got much better.
Well, when we started out, I mean, when we started doing it on the Green Tour, it was like the only thing I could play was things I wrote, and I'm still kind of that way. But yeah, I've been playing a lot. I've been playing with like these country guys, and you just pick things up. I mean, I love mandolin. As far as my heroes go, mandolin wise, remember McGinnis Flint?
Yeah.
That
The
song.
Molten Barley Blues. All that stuff.
No, When I'm Dead and Gone. That's my
Oh,
that's my ideal as far as mandolin playing goes.
You've obviously never seen this band
Well,
in the flesh.
So they're probably not really cute or anything, but that record with When I'm Dead and Gone is a great record, and that's like kind of the ideal for mandolin, because I kind of play like a rock and roll instrument. I mean, it's strummy rhythm. It's not, I mean, I don't do the bluegrass picking thing. I can't do that. Not yet. But it's cool. I'm taking lessons. I'm starting to take lessons when I get back home from this guy who's a really, really good bluegrass musician. He's living with my brother's ex-girlfriend that I used to know when she was like a great singer, great fiddle player, and so we used to hang out. And now this guy's like a motherfucker player. So I did a session with him. And I was just like, well, he's would you give me lessons? And he's kind of like, I'm going to give mandolin lessons to a guy in Oregon. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take lessons when I get home.
So do you think you'll use the mandolins and mellotrons and all that stuff on the next record? Or
I don't know what we're going to do, but
away
I don't know. I think it's going to be a live record, kind of like live in the studio with maybe 15 musicians or something, like an orchestra. So, well, yeah, maybe have a fiddle player and Mike playing keyboards, Peter playing bass or acoustic, and I'd like Michael Blair maybe to play on it, and a couple other people. It would be nice to have like we would try to do a live thing with like 9-10 people in the studio.
Is Michael Blair, is he the guy who plays on the Holsack album?
I think he might.
You mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, he's in. He played with Tom Waits and Elvis Costello.
That's right, yeah, he's the guy.
Really, really good guy. We haven't called him, so I guess I'm not a cat out of the bag. I like the idea of working with him. To have someone who could do like 3 or 4 different things. He can play a lot of instruments.
So do you think all the interviews I've read from the British press, they're all bought from America, weren't they? Like you didn't have to do
A lot of them, yeah.
There's a real slant on the political thing. Do you does that bother you at all? That you're going to get sort of numbered as this sort of left-wing band? People are trying to label you that already.
Well, I mean, we are.
I mean, it's not as bad as being a right-wing band.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
we are. That's it's part of, but that's part of our personal life. I don't have to make a record about it every time. I mean, this record's kind of non-political. But I mean, all the shit that I mean, when I was 14, I went around and knocked on doors and gave flyers for this politician I liked, who's now a state, senator from Georgia, White Fowler, but at that time he was running for city council in Atlanta. That was, how long ago? Like 20 years ago? Oh, I don't want to think how long ago that was. I mean, I've been involved in this shit, and I don't particularly like politicians, and I don't want to live a political. I don't want to be involved in politics, but living is political, and I mean, if you don't vote and do this shit, then what you're saying is I like the way things are, and I don't like the way things are. And I doubt very much that you're going to change things by doing all this stuff, but it's something you got to do. I mean, just so you can wake up in the morning and go, well, okay, the world sucks, but at least I did whatever I could to make it not suck. It's just still hot as a bastard in here, isn't it?
It is.
As Bill would say, hot as a two-dick dog. I guess that's just the way it goes. I mean, this is the only place in England I've ever been in that's heated, so.
So why did you choose to do London for the gigs? I mean, I'm really glad you did, but that's great. But
Well, to tell the truth, we couldn't get into the country without a work permit, and you can't have a work permit unless you're playing a public gig.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally fun. I mean,
Does that just apply to here, right? It's
yeah.
the same around
every
Europe.
other country it's easy. In England, it was like we had to get a work permit to do TV, but TV isn't a good enough reason to get a work permit. So that we couldn't come here, and so you have to do a gig, and we said, okay, we'll do this bingo hand job thing. And then we did 2 nights because it got out of hand, and it was crazy, too many tickets, that kind of crap. But I think that the British government has this weird feeling that I'm going to get a job over here. We get a work permit, and I'll do Top of the Pops, and then I'll
Get a
be a
job
dishwasher.
shelves, yeah.
It's totally fun. So yeah, but it's an excuse to play is fine with me. I like playing. I mean, I wish we were playing every day and not doing interviews, but it's just one of them things.
But couldn't you have done? Didn't you feel like any kind of need to just do that in every town with this album? Because you didn't want to go and play stadiums again. Couldn't you have just sort of done New York club and an LA?
It makes me feel bad.
club?
It's kind of elitist. It's like.
Yeah.
Gee, if we know you and you have enough money, you can come see us. I mean, I felt kind of uncomfortable about the fact that a lot of people that I know couldn't get in.
Yeah, but you can't win, can you? It's either that or you play a huge stadium. People like us that think, we should have played.
Yeah. Well, see, what people always go, don't you wish you played in small places? Oh, you're so much better in small places, blah blah blah. And then we play a small place, and all I get is grief because it's like, God damn it, you didn't put me on the guest list. It's like, so what everyone is really saying is, wouldn't it be great if you played a small place and put me on the guest list? Which is fine, but.
Yeah, it's a bit practical.
Well, I don't plan to be practical, and I mean, I have really no interest in doing the stadium thing. I don't think we're ever going to do that again. I mean, we did it great. And
It worked out okay.
I thought we were great.
I saw you in Concord in California.
Oh yeah.
And that was, it was great. That was one of the best, big shows I've seen.
Did I see you there?
No.
I didn't think so.
I was like, I didn't even know where the backstage was.
Oh, there's Stuart. He said he was. Well, I mean, yeah, I did remember seeing you in California. So.
No.
But no, we did it, and I don't have any interest in doing it. Whatever we do will be kind of like this in the future. I mean, I know it's totally impractical, but fuck it, I'm a musician. I don't have to be practical. I mean, that's one of the reasons you get in this job. I don't have to have touch of reality. I mean, it's what is it, noon? I'm drinking beer. Which is unusual for me right now. But yeah, I think that we're gonna probably, when we do it, we'll do something like this, small place. I don't really have any interest in electric guitar anymore.
Really? Oh, don't say that.
I mean,
Don't you think you ever will, or is it just the thing that at the moment,
Well, right now, but you can't. I never plan for the future. So, I mean, right now, if you ask me, I'd say no. I'm never gonna play electric guitar again. I really have no interest in it. But well, I'm sure we will. But I mean, Bill is kind of sick of drums. So we're songwriters. We'll write songs, we'll make records, and I'm not sure that being like a 4-piece rock and roll band is going to be our picture for right now. I'm sure we will again, I guess. But I mean, if you ask me right now what I want to do, I'd say, well, I definitely don't want to be drums, bass, guitar anymore. I'd rather have Mike play keyboards, I'll play mandolin acoustic, or play bass or acoustic,
So when you're doing your weekly free gig with whoever's around at the time, you're not playing guitar, then you're playing...
No, I play electric guitar.
All right.
Okay, we've got your number.
I play every Wednesday with the country and western band, and I play electric guitar. And that's just the way it goes.
Just twanging.
Yeah. But country and western's different. It's not my songs. It's a different feel. It's the same.
No
You
pedal steel?
No, well, it's too small of a place. So it's
Right.
fiddle, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass, and I'm gonna play every Wednesday. The Normal Time Flyers, the record's coming out. They got signed to a deal, but they still play every Wednesday. It's my local. You know, it's like it's the bar a block from my house, and it's a really cool place. Allen's. It's kind of like, you know, fat guys with beards going, all right. It's great. I had this guy-
Rednecks.
Yeah, but you know, redneck isn't a bad thing. I'm a redneck. I mean, I'm proud to be a redneck. This guy we were playing there, and this guy that I've been hanging out with, you know, he's been seeing me there for like 2 years now. And he goes, you know, Peter, I don't know anything about that other band you're in, that REM. He goes, but you know, you never take solos. Why don't you do a solo tonight? And I was like, well, I don't do it in my band either. He goes, really? He goes, well, does the other guitar player do a solo? And I'm like, we don't have another guitar player. He goes, what do you mean? You don't have solos in the band? No, we really don't. He's like, well, how do you get by? And I was like, well, I don't know. I guess we write bridges to the songs rather than have solos. But that's just what I mean, I play every Wednesday in the country western band, and that's, you know, it's not my band. I mean, it's their band, and they let me sit in, which is really nice of them. Great band, Normal Time Flyers. Can't promote them highly enough.
And who they signed to?
Like Polygram or whatever.
Oh,
Whatever
really?
Mercury turned into. Is that
Yeah,
Polygram?
Polygram, yeah. Polygram, yeah.
Oh, Polydor, okay. And he's just an ace songwriter, like the best songwriter. He's got like 200 songs that are just mind-bogglingly good. And the guy who signed it, Steve Shedd, signed 50 Headhunters in Alabama and all those people. And I just talked to him, he goes, yeah, you know, to tell the truth, this is the best band I've ever signed. You know, and it's like, these like legends he signed. He's great. The first single is a really cool song called Rockin' the Love Boat. And it's really good. It's like rockabilly. See, he's really influenced by rockabilly, country and western, and Dylan and the Stones. So it's like they're like this 40-year-old guy who's doing country and western, but it's like we also do honky tonk women. Oh, we do country honk, but you know, the minute I got there, it turned into honky tonk women. That's just all it is doing. You know, it's like, you know, I could do the Keith one hand on the guitar thing. So. What the hell? Where did this all this blue stuff come from?
Is it difficult for you to go out these days? Or do people just sort of stop you in the streets?
No.
I mean, I still don't have a problem. I mean, you're going to sell like 5 million records this time around.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, you will. I'm pretty
We're gonna
sure
sell a
of
lot,
that.
yeah. You know, we don't. I don't think we sell ourselves as like faces. I mean, people still don't even know what
I know
do.
you don't see yourselves as, but other people do. You know, you're like a rock god to some people. Ted Nugent of your generation.
All right,
So why don't you do Cat Scratch Fever?
Oh, I can play it. I can play that song. I mean, not as good as Ted, but. Yeah, but you know, the thing is that our faces really are on the records. They're not really much in the videos. I mean, Michael, people kind of recognize him. I went to see the Laws last night, and I mean, I was in this audience of like rock and roll fans, kind of what would you call it, alternative rock type thing. I was there all night. Not one single person walked up to me and said hello.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, you know.
You're probably thinking, no, he looks like Peter Butler. Can't be.
Poor guy. What horrible fashion sense. We just, you know. Put it this way, even to think that going out would be hard would be just totally against, I mean, it would fuck me up mentally just to think that, you know, so I just
Well,
go
that's
out.
what I figured. I thought about this and thought, I
I
wonder
go
if
out all
you're
the
getting
time.
fucked up over it.
No, I go out all the time, and I don't
It's not
think,
a
you know, and the
problem,
thing is
so-
that every now and again someone comes, and I kind of enjoy it, you know? I mean, I'm mildly famous, and I don't mind it at all, you know?
Suits you that way.
I get in for free at clubs, every now and again I get a free drink, you know? Get a discount at record stores. What else do you want? And, you know, I mean, and I'm not Bruce Springsteen. I'm not Prince. People don't really notice this that much. And you know, it's like I can Bromley. We're in Bromley. This is where
it all
Billy
started.
Idol came from. Billy Idol.
Bromley
and his kids.
contingent.
Right? Yeah. Susie with her tits
Escorts.
out. Yeah, I see that picture of Susie Sue with her
That's right.
the boobs out. Shot. Great shot. You know. She
Yeah.
live up. You know. Ever. We opened for them once.
It's terrible. It used to be good. Made one good record.
You know what though? I kind of like some of this stuff. I mean, Hong Kong Gardens, the fake Chinese one was alright. Or whatever it was called. And what was that other song? The one, the girl's name was really good. Christine.
Strawberry Girl.
Yeah, that's a great song. That's
Yeah.
really a good song. They're fun to me.
Did you have any sort of ambitions to ever play with people like Dylan? Or,
Oh, not
you know,
Bob
just
Dylan,
to
no.
be a sideman with people on that level.
Oh, but see, I do that all the
People's
time.
records.
I do that all the time. I do it with Robin. Great song. That's
Yeah.
really a good song. They're fun.
Did you have any sort of ambitions to ever play with people like Dylan? Or,
Oh, not
you know,
Bob
just
Dylan,
to
no.
be a sideman with people on that level.
Oh, but see, I do that all the
People's
time.
records.
I do that all the time. I do it with Robin. I've toured with Robin. I did Kevin Kenny's record, and Kevin and I did a
Oh,
tour.
yeah, tell us about that tour. Because what didn't Nicky Sudden
I
join
just,
you?
Well, yeah, I bumped into him in
stay
New
at your
York,
place?
and I'd met him once. It's funny because we were playing with the Go-Betweens in Germany, and this guy walks in. He's got purple boots on, fringe jacket, keyed hair, and I went, gee,
Scarves.
yeah, scarves. I went, God, that guy looks a lot like Nicky Sutton. And I was with like I think Grant from Gobies, and he was like, oh, it probably is. We know Nicky. I went, hey, I like your records, And I bumped into him in New York like 8 months later, and we were doing the same radio show the day after I left him. I said, well, Kevin and I are touring. If you're not doing anything, come on. And he just showed up and goes, I'm ready. He's got like a little bag about 2 shirts and a pair of leather pants, and
That's all you need.
that's all he needs. He had a bottle of vodka, and he goes, yeah, I'll go, let's go. And so he had never been south of New York. I was like, it's totally fucked up to come to America and just go to New York. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So took him down south, and it kind of blew his mind.
I bet.
And but yeah, he came along. He'd do like every night. He'd do like a 5-song set in the middle, and I'd back him up. Me and Kevin played bass. Like
Did you know his stuff though? I mean, his records.
Oh yeah, I've got all his records. Yeah, I like his stuff. Oh, not all his records. I mean, he has 3,000, but I've got most of them. Yeah, I dated a girl in like '84 who was just madly in love with his stuff, and that's how I kind of got to know. I mean, I'd heard the Swell Maps with his solo things, and I was like, oh, this is great, pretty cool. I like it. And so I ended up backing him up, and he lived at my house for like 2 months, I guess. Which is, it's Nicky. It's like, well, there's food in the fridge, beer in the fridge, and I get in clubs for free. I'll stay here. And I produced I guess a record for him. I don't know if it's out yet or anything, but
So did you record that in the States?
yeah, in Athens, and Bill and I and Mike backed him up, and then some of the Driving Fire guys backed him up. He's coming in May, the 14th of May, to finish it. To do. Originally, the idea was it was going to be Swift Jewel Thieves, and it was just going to be all of us doing, like the guys from Normal Town Flyers did a couple songs, and Brian co-wrote a song with Nicky, and Nicky, the song was okay. And Nicky goes, well, Brian, would you finish this? And Brian rewrote it and made it great. So it's Nicky and Brian singing together. And we're going to finish the record up, and I guess it'll be an album sometime. Although, I don't really go into these things with the expectation of, like, it's going to be a record. I'm, working with friends, and I'll, if it comes out or not. But his stuff is really good. I think it's definitely the best stuff he's done in a long time. Like, we did an old Jimmy Reed song that was really good, and we did some of Nicky's stuff that was really good, and it's pretty cool.
Do you get hassles from Warner Brothers for doing all this other stuff and not touring to back the album? Or do you get...
Nope, not at all.
No?
They like,
They just
they
leave
trust
you
us.
to it.
They trust us. They like us, I'm sure they prefer that we toured, but,
But you don't get any shit over it.
Well, we're at the point where, no one can really give us shit. For better or worse, we've gotten really successful doing what we do, and
Do you know the album is #1, by the way?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hey, let me
It's
go
going
yell.
to be #1 tomorrow.
Let me
And
go,
now he only gets announced in papers tomorrow. It is,
let me go yell at the guy. So how'd you know?
Because you can ring up music
Oh, right,
on a
right.
Friday, and they'll give you the results. It's far and away.
Good
like,
man, everyone enjoyed that.
I'll bet, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
That's
them
great,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
sold incredibly. Like I was talking to a guy at the shop last night, and he said, it's like outsold everything else 10 to 1, and like the last year, Queen was a big record for it.
Yeah.
But it's 10 to 1 on that.
Great.
It sold as much yesterday as it had like in the build-up of the first
It's pretty
5
amazing
days.
in America. We got it sold 70,000 in one day. I mean, we shipped 650,000, and the next day it sold. They ordered another order of 70,000. And that's a lot.
It's
And
going to be top 10, isn't it, this stage?
I hope so. I want to have a #1 record. I mean, I hate to say it. I hate to sound immodest, but we deserve it. It's a good
I
record.
agree with you.
It's a good. It's a good
It's
record.
deserving of it. There's nothing else is good.
Well, I'm not saying. Well, actually, deserve is the wrong word because nobody deserves heard this guy's shit. I mean, no, really, no one.
You've worked hard.
No, I mean, he's maybe a saint. Saint Sebastian should have something like this. But I mean, the record is worthy of it. I mean, it's better than the rest of the crap on the charts right now. There we go. That's the most immodest thing I'll ever say. And,
I think it's proved your point about not touring, because I mean I know it's when they had like all the music papers polls in.
Right.
I mean the year after the end of the Green Tour, you were all over the polls.
Yeah.
End of last year, nowhere. You didn't exist anymore.
Well, we did have a record meeting tour.
Yeah,
How the hell
yeah.
did we get? But that's.
But as soon as the record comes out, they've all bought it.
Yeah.
You're back in the.
Well, I mean, the idea being that when we tour, it's got to be special, and every tour has been special by
not
nature
worth
that
getting
it's
on a
we're going
treadmill.
somewhere else, and like the last tour was real special because it was a big thing. It was like hit records. It was kind of like Led Zeppelin or something, in a good way.
Well, it's the most structured I've ever seen you. Every
Yeah.
other time I've seen you, it was anything could happen.
Yeah.
But that time there was like definitely a beginning and end, and,
Yeah.
and room for movement around
Right.
that. But it was
Well, see, we change the set every night, but you've got cues, and then you get in those good places, and also you can't lose concentration. The second you lose concentration, you're really
Blown it.
place.
Yeah.
You've blown it. And see, that's one of the reasons that I thought it was great we did that. I thought we did it really well, and I don't want to do it anymore. At that level. So, when we tour again, it'll be kind of like bingo hand job thing. We're not playing the closest to the borderline. It'll be.
It'll be like a rolling hand job review.
Yeah, well, exactly. We've already talked to Billy. Billy wants to come along, and I'm going to do something. We're going to do something like that. It's going to be like, see, essentially, I
do you
guess.
mind if I give you my phone number? So you can
Don't worry. I mean, if we do it, it's going to be. I mean, if we do indeed tour again, which I think we probably will, because everyone wants to. It'll be more. Yeah, it'll be really loose. It'll be have Billy, maybe Robin. Well, yeah, it's
great.
See, I love that thing when we did the Big Orange album. You do 4 songs, then you walk off stage, someone else does 2 songs, then you back them up. Yeah, I'm a great side musician. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at backing people up. And it just so happens I'm in a band where I don't back anyone up. We work together.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah, great.
Well, I mean, it is. It's kind of just like, see, I mean, the housing in America would be.
It's neat, isn't it?
It's neat.
It's the working English
literally
mind,
neat,
that
yeah.
is. It's the working English mind.
Literally neat.
Nowhere else. Can I have a church? What a weird building. That's it.
Yeah. First,
It's pretty crazy.
first,
They built the roof. Built the roof first, then.
yeah, First Church of Christ the Modernist. But that's the idea being that whenever we tour, it's going to be. I mean, the thing I guess about being this successful is that we can do whatever we fucking want to, and at this point we're kind of more interested in doing things that are really special. So when we tour, it's going to be like play smaller places, and there'll be more people, and there'll be less of us. I'm not really interested in being in the center spotlight, I just want to write songs and make records for the rest of my life, and then tour in these weird little ways.
It's good.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to turn down like $10 million or whatever, but it's kind of you just go, well,
Yeah, I'll find it pretty difficult. Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's kind of like, who gives a fuck,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've made money, so I don't really give a fuck, but I didn't give much a fuck anyway.
Keep it certain anyway.
But I mean, we didn't do anything for money when we were poor, so I don't see why I should change and I'm not do it. And I think, we've been proved totally right. Like you said, the record's doing really well. It's a good record. We're doing exactly what we want to, the way we want to do it. And, it's not the established, accepted way to do things. Not tour, make kind of, I guarantee this will be the weirdest record in the top 10 the week that it's in the top 10.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Definitely, that's always the case, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the Beatles are weird too. I mean, we're not at their level or anything, but I mean, the great groups have whatever they have. They can force you to like it. Yeah. And if the
Well,
Beatles,
they make weird, say mainstream. That's what's
Yeah.
if the Beatles had done a polka record, it would have been a #1 polka record. It would have been really interesting. And someday we'll do our polka record, I guess. I don't know. I love polka music, so
Your album's brilliant. It's the best thing you've done.
I think it is too.
Country Feedback.
That's a demo.
Tell me a bit about that.
It's a
I
demo.
love that. I think that's like the best thing in the record.
It's like not a song even really. It's kind of like Mike and Michael didn't come to we were doing demos and they didn't come to the session. We were doing Rocky Erickson thing, and it was a little late, and it was like we went at 1 and they didn't come for free. And I had like 4 chords, so, nothing special. It's not a song. And I said, well, Bill, let's put it down. So Bill and he did bass, I did acoustic guitar. And I said, why don't you put some feedback on it? So I put a lot of feedback on it. And I said, well, John, the engineer, why don't you put some slide guitar on it? So he put some pedal steel on. And then Michael and Mike showed up. And they went, oh, that's pretty cool. Mike put organ. I mean, it literally took like 45 minutes. And then Michael goes, I think I can do something with that. And the next day he came in, and usually he's got pretty concise lyrics, written down. I mean, he knows where they're going to go. And I saw his sheet. It had like 8 words, a sentence, a picture of an Indian, and he just like ranted. Totally, ranted. He's only ever sung it the one time. Like direct. He goes, run the tape, record me. Just ranted off the top of his head.
Sounds like something you worked on purpose, to get this thing.
That's why it's natural. It's totally I was especially lyrically. I mean, we were talking about Jefferson goes, why should I have your feedback? And we looked at each other like, I don't know how to play it. And Michael goes, how the hell am I supposed to do that? I don't remember the words, And we just like shouted out. And it was a demo. We didn't start doing the record for another 3 weeks. And that and Endgame were demos. So well, these are good. Let's just keep them. Did them in like 20 minutes. Of course, we didn't overdub the strings on Endgame. But the feedback was exactly what we did it in 45 minutes, like a Friday at Apple.
I should ask Mike Mills this, but as he's not here, I'll ask you. The 2 things he sings on, the other reviews were saying it sounds like the Beach Boys. I thought it was like real lazy journalism. It sounds to me more like Mamas and the Cockneys.
Or the association
of the Mamas and the Cockneys. Or is it just that kind of 60s?
New Wild Heaven was written with Michael and Mike wrote the lyrics. They kind of co-sing it. But I'd probably hit the Beach Boys. I don't know. I mean, that's probably like the most obvious influence type thing we've ever done. To me, I always think, pre-Pet Sounds Beach Boys, like Summer Days, Summer Nights, that record. Yeah. Although I got a real association feel from it. Empty glass tastes as sweet as punch. God, what a great fucking line. Talk about taking LSD and writing songs,
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, good choice. Now the empty glass tastes as sweet as the punch. I love the association, and great songs.
Windy, that's my favourite.
And the least likely follow-up single ever in history after Along Comes Mary was Pandora's Golden Heebie-Jeebies, which is like, yeah, right, that's gonna be a hit. Sure, guys, just keep taking drugs, it'll be all right. I think more people should take acid nowadays. That's what I say.
Yeah. Because mind you, in England, everybody's...
Yeah, that ecstasy thing.
Have you seen, you wouldn't have done while you're... There's a company called Snub TV, which is like an alternative music, 30 minutes slot.
Where is it?
BBC 2. And like every week you see these videos where it's just like flashing lights and colours shooting through. It's just total acid. All the new bands are coming through like real acid.
It's pretty wild because, I'm 34 and, I went through it myself the first time around before,
Just on the tail end.
Yeah, the tail end. Well, it's Georgia, we didn't get things until later, I mean, the hippie thing started happening about 1962, So for me, it's really funny. Everyone's like, well, what do you think of the Manchester scene? Oh,
Do you like any of that? I mean, do you like the Mondays?
Oh, I like 808 State. Because, it's the absurdo adductum of rock and roll. No singer, no lyrics, no melody. All there is rhythm and noise, I like that idea.
Well, it's just aimed at a club with a light show and people dancing.
I've never seen live. I
don't
like the things I've seen. Heard on the radio. Monday's alright, they're not my favorite. I thought the Sunrise was kind of cute,
They've got a couple of good songs.
Chameleons. Oh, you know what? No, it was the Charlatans. I had a slash next to the singer of the Charlatans.
Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't say hello or anything. He looked really dour. I mean, of course, we were at the urinal, so he was at the bingo hand job gig. But, maybe we bummed him out. Maybe we sucked. So.
Ride are the best band in England.
Ride, I've never seen them, but I like the records. But I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. That whole kind of, the guitar noise. I have no idea what the songs were about. I like
neither have I. I just love the way they look and sound.
Yeah. I saw the Laws last night. They're all right. They had like 3 really good songs.
Yeah.
Man, the best drummer I've seen in a long time. I mean, second to Bill, but if Bill died and I was going to form another band, I'd call this guy up. He was good. That's what Bill does it by, though. Bill's definitely the best drummer for that. This guy, man, he was good. I mean, it's funny because there's songs, singing, all that kind of stuff. I watched him drum the whole night.
That's really funny because the last used to have this great drummer who ended up playing with World Class. He joined World Class with Sharon.
Yeah.
And the new drummer is the singer, Lee Mavers. It's his brother. And he was a guitar roadie for like 2 years for that band. And he just decided, oh well, I'll play the drums. No one else
Great.
wants
And you get the feeling that he said, well, how do you set up a drum kit? And then he set it up by sight, like so they looked good. Because he's got that kind of jazz thing where the cymbals are really low.
go
and
down,
flat.
it's all like that.
And man, it was just like, he's definitely the best new drummer I've seen in a long time. What's his name?
Something Mavers. I can't remember his first name.
Tell him he can come stay at my house if he comes to Georgia.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
You got an opener?
No, Bill probably fine something to
Good girl.
You guys want to trade over? Michael and I.
Have you heard Bank of the Mock Turtles?
I've heard him on that Birds comp, but I don't know much about him.
That is really nice.
You have to give us your address and I'll send you some tape.
Yeah, okay, cool. You got a pen, I'll do it.
You have to transcribe this yourself.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
All we're going to get is... That's going to be it.
I'll try to holler.
So give you a shout.
I've been trying to shout to the other journalists.
It's hard to say the strongest because I listen to so many different kind of music, so much different music that it all. I mean, I've listened to a lot of classical and opera. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but I will have to admit that sound is one of my favorite records. Although I hate to say that because it's been capitalized on so much by the press. And the Beach Boys weren't the first people doing those harmonies. The Four Freshmen is exactly exactly the example I was going to use because my dad used to have Four Freshmen records. I was doing Hilos, the Mills Brothers. All of that stuff, the Babbling Trees, all that stuff. I'm sure is in there somewhere. I enjoy melody. I think melody is the most expressive part of music, and I think that melody reaches me more than any other.
More than lyrical content, right?
More than lyrical content, more than paintings, more than any other sculpture, more than any sort of. I don't like to use the word art in context of what I do, but
it is.
But since it is, as far as anybody else is concerned, it has the most profound influence on me, and therefore I really enjoy working with melody. I enjoy applying melody to music that we make. So I do it whenever I can.
And it's kept me over the years from being throttled because I have an innate sense of melody. It's the only thing that's kept me in this band.
Wonderful sense. I mean, I'll never forget the time that we'd written the music to Radio Free Europe, and I heard the melody that Michael put over, and I was like, where, how, why, when?
I knew you were going to use that example, and to this day I don't know what I did. That was so, because all you guys drop, your jaws drop. I was like, what did I do?
It's we say it, brill, but I was very impressed.
I expect they were,
Start that again.
I expect they were similarly surprised by your keyboard
So
skills,
you were there.
weren't they?
Yeah.
I played classical piano as a child. I was a prodigy. Oh, I like to say I was.
The young Mozart type.
I was, yeah.
Oh, I wonder where you got the poses. Whether they were.
Symphony at 7.
It's your last symphony.
No, I'm fairly non-musical, and I think that's what gets me, makes me able to get away with so much within the context of REM. Should I take blame for the Beach Boys melodies?
Actually, yeah, a lot of the stuff that's on there that sounds like the Beach Boys, Michael did, and
I've heard Pet Sounds twice, and I stand on record as having listened to it tied to an armchair with Mike and Peter waving at me how great a record it was, and just not getting it. I don't get it. I think Brian Wilson was amazing, and I think Good Vibrations was a fun record when it's hot outside, but I never got the Beach Boys.
Do you still have that attitude about music? I've read you say this before, that you don't really listen to music, so you don't have too much of an influence. Is that still the way you feel?
Well, there are certain I would expound on that a little because it's not really exactly true. And say that there are certain people who, all my contemporaries, everyone in my band has listened to over the years and has probably been influenced by it in some way or another. From Captain Beefheart to Dylan to the Stones to Joni Mitchell. I didn't listen to all that stuff, and I don't want to at this point because I think that it would just bring my point of view to a more common ground. And I think that perhaps, and I use this word without hesitancy, the naivety that I have musically speaking has been the only thing that's kept me from being throttled. The fact that I can come up with a melody and not know why it works or whatever, but it's innate and intuitive. As a group, we have a very strong intuitive sense. As an individual, I have a very strong intuitive sense, and I think individually we all do. And that's led us down the musical path that we've taken. It's led us down the side roads that we've taken, and it's also helped us out in all the other aspects of being in a real famous pop band. So, I'm very happy with that. Yes, it is.
So if we wanted to...
When I'm 50 years old, I'll sit down with the Captain Beefheart
You go through that backlog
collection
of rock
and
history.
hear the back, and at 50, nobody's going to give a shit what I sound like or what I say or do or listen to, and so I'll be able to enjoy Captain Beefheart at that point in my life if I decide to. For now, I'd rather listen to Massive. That to me is much more in line with what I'm doing in the here and now. In fact, I bought the CD yesterday and I can't wait.
Really? Get that there. That was great thing for me.
What?
You buying Massive.
I wanted to have another train.
I still haven't heard.
It's amazing. Well, I also bought it because I wanted you to hear it. It's so good.
So when we were talking to Peter, he was talking about getting away from big tours and doing something looser, more a sort of review style show. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. We did the Green World Tour. We kind of proved to everyone, and especially to ourselves, that we could do it. And I feel like we accomplished a great deal. I mean, to me, it was a perfect cap to a decade of touring from clubs to larger clubs to theaters to larger theaters to arenas to stadiums, and we went to 17 countries in 11 months.
I just
For
wondered.
you to be able to say that was the end of that period, this next record...
To me, it was.
Green,
it was
right.
significant. It was a huge tour, and I think it was a significant change in all of us in terms of how we felt about what we do. I mean, I think I'd place significance on things that maybe the other guys in the band don't. For me, it was very difficult to sign a contract with Warner Brothers because it was basically making the agreement with myself that I wanted to make 5 more albums with REM. And I thought very long and hard about it, and I didn't sleep for a couple of weeks. And I made the decision that that was exactly what I wanted to do for the next 7 years. I couldn't think of anything more motivating, more cathartic, more enlightening to myself, and something that I take great joy in, which is writing songs with these guys.
Green Soul, 2 million copies.
I like Quake.
I don't like being photographed with
6
them.
million. This album's going to sell about 5 million.
Can you guarantee that?
Yeah, you want it in writing.
I'll accept that.
I would say it'll sell.
You're a betting man, aren't you,
It's
Stuart?
a great record, isn't it?
It is.
It seems like a lot of
It's
people
far
are
and
picking
away
that
ahead
up.
of everything else.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm very proud of it. I don't know, a year from now I'll be able to see it more in perspective, but for right now, it's one record that we've done that I can still listen to 4 months, is it? After the final mix, and still really dig every track, yeah.
I think it's not so much a matter of how it sounds now, because they all sound good, but it's just the direction you took was the right direction after the last one. Could have been real bombastic in anyone else's hands, after all that success, and like you say, capping off that huge tour. But, I think it's great. I love the feel of it, country feedback. We talked to Peach about it. He was saying it's just like almost a demo the way it was done.
It was a demo.
It is a demo, right? Okay, sorry.
I mean, it was.
Can you tell us a bit about that from your input?
Well, it was elevated to album track simply on the strength of the feeling of the song. Technically speaking, it's not very well played or sung. But
We did it that time. Michael sang it that time. It's the only time we've ever played it.
I hadn't even written the words. I just went in and sang them and walked out, and that was that.
What is it? Is it just sort of a stream of consciousness thing off a set
Yeah.
of ideas?
Yeah, I mean, it does make.
But it's going.
I can't remember the names of any of them, but in the past, you playing with other bands and doing your own little things and concerts and stuff.
Me personally,
Yeah. What happened to all that? I mean, Bill's put a record out, Michael's done Alameda.
The Corn Cob Web.
Yeah. What about record wise outside of REM? Do you have any sort of ideas?
well, no, the Corn Cob Webs was just some friends of mine and ours doing cover songs of songs that we always really liked and wanted to play. I did a film. I did a movie for a half-hour film that a friend of ours, Howard Leboff, did. And that's been my biggest project so far outside was trying to score that film. Thank God it's only half an hour.
Did you do work with Francis Ford Coppola?
Actually, I'd love to. That is, you know,
Is that something you'd like to get more involved in?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's, you know, this band has a limited lifespan. All bands have a limited lifespan, and even if they don't, they're limiting in the fact that they're a band. So, I'm looking for other outlets for music, as is everyone else, and scoring films is one way to do it. Producing other bands is another way to do it, which is something else I've dabbled in. I haven't really done that much, but I could do. So yeah, I mean, hopefully Howard's going to have another film soon. Hopefully he'll ask me. Hopefully it'll be good.
And what about the Vim Vendors thing that you mentioned at the show the other night? New song, Bizarre Love Trial was you. Is that definitely going to be in the film, or are you?
We don't know
What
at this
stage
point.
is that at? Just something you're
They're still
hoping
cutting
to
the film, and we're hoping that it'll make it.
And are you meeting up with vendors at all, or have you met up with him to discuss?
We communicated through telephone and faxes, and in fact, we're going to meet him in a week in Los Angeles. Well, in 10 days in Los
Oh, really?
Angeles. Yeah, I arranged for him to stay at the Montreal, so oops, the name of that hotel has not been mentioned.
You didn't hear that.
You stay at our hotel. And we're gonna,
Great.
yeah, so 4 days at that was.
You're a fan. You must be.
Oh yeah,
You wouldn't
Lord,
work
yeah.
with him.
I wouldn't work with him otherwise.
Do you like Wings of Desire?
Yeah, it's my favorite film actually, like the last probably 8 years. I think it was an amazing piece of work. It was flawed, but the best
All
things
the great
are.
things like that.
So, I mean, scoring films must be a pretty specialised art.
I don't think there's anything to it.
No?
I haven't done it, but without overwhelming it, and gives it a different dynamic than if you just listen to it.
Gives it depth.
Consequently, I mean,
Well, that's hard.
in alignment with that, you've got the other. You're just flip flopping it. I think it might be harder to put a visual to music than to put music to a visual.
It might be harder to do it well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, anyone
I can see that.
do it and make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the music bring out the emotion of the scene, but at the same time you have to. You can't overpower, but you have to be very emotive, but you also have to be technical because it's got to be timed correctly. You got to time it.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. So, you know, you have to tailor the music to each scene without taking the emotion out of the music, which is what can happen when you start editing music. You know, you can lose a lot of the feeling. So you have to, you know, it's like some people, I guess, some of the music is written beforehand and you just kind of adapt it to it, but other parts of the music are written while watching. You know, you see the film or you see the parts that they've got for you, and then, you know, see what kind of music you think that should have and what would fit.
Listen to the Carl Stallings project.
The Warner
Is
Brothers.
that the Hollywood stuff, the old?
Yeah.
The old
Well, it's actually mostly
Warner Brother cartoons.
Even
right,
for that
yeah, I've
music,
seen that.
their music is brilliant. And that's one case where
Absolutely
I might use that
amazing.
word. You know, that word really fits there.
The man invented the click track. He would often compose without ever having seen the image, just knowing how long it was and what the action was.
Wow.
You know, Roadrunner falls off cliff.
Right.
Coyote speaks at the end. Great.
So Michael, two things. First, can I have a water biscuit, please?
What?
May I have a water biscuit, please?
Yeah, big one.
Thank you. Second, is Vic Chester?
Vic is a singer-songwriter from Athens. He's not from Athens, he lives in Athens. He's one of the better singer-songwriters of our generation, in my opinion. I think he's amazing. And I worked with him on his record because nobody else was, and I felt like what he was doing needed recognition, and for him as a singer-songwriter needed to be put on tape so he could listen to it and figure out where he was and carry on. He needed some encouragement, and I provided that. Yeah, just about. Thanks.
And so has he continued since that record which came out a while ago?
He has some 90 songs written.
90?
Wow.
He's incredible. I mean, he's incredibly prolific.
From live?
He does, yeah. In fact, he just played in Manhattan last week, and the reports that I got back was that it was one of the best shows. The two people who told me about it that they'd ever seen.
Good.
Yeah, he played alone once, and then he played with. He's brought in a guitar, drummer and a bass player, and incredibly simple skeletal band setup, really effective. Also, weren't you at the Georgia Theater when he played with Tina and David? Is that the guy's name?
No, I wasn't. I wish I had been.
It was astonishing.
I had a snatch of like one track and he sounded just on the fit I have what I remember, like a sort of Rocky Erickson, Dylanish voice, and it was just guitar I think or whatever.
Yeah, Dylan I could finish too. Like to me he's just in a long line of traditional Southern storytellers who chooses music and singing along to it as the mode of the outlet for that. His songs smack of such authenticity. You don't have to be from the South to know that whoever is singing them has seen what they're singing about. I think if you were to compare him, for instance, to Nick Cave, it would be a very interesting. I can't say that I can do it at this point, but it would be a very interesting comparison to me because Nick Cave is not from the region that Vic and that we're from, but he's very...
Sees things similarly.
Yeah, but he's singing about that region from an outsider's point of view, which is a very interesting point of view, and I think that's what makes him successful as a songwriter and singer. But Vic has he's very much observed what he sings about, they're often brutally honest songs. Sometimes, I'm guessing, perhaps autobiographical. But he's acutely aware of everything around him. And he takes it in and sends it back out as songs.
I'm off then.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Cheers.
Mike.
Cheers.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Do I leave
Guys,
too much?
there's a compartment if you walk up there on the left.